I okay if I ask a question first?
Yeah, please.
Hi, my name is Vinay. I just had one comment. Thank you for outlining the 6 steps. One observation that I have is when new cities develop, social inclusiveness. So, for example, in Gurgaon, a lot of the original land belongs to the original inhabitants, and suddenly they see a lot of wealth. And we also see that contributes to lawlessness, because either they don't know what to do with the wealth, or it leads to other social evils. And my worry is, with the announcement of more smarter cities, etc., it could also cause a larger law and order problem. So, is there a way for NASSCOM? I know it's an indirect way to influence government policy around this, to socially include these people, and also have a succinct program for how to manage wealth. How do they understand expectations when they have a lot of this coming their way, and how do they blend into the larger society, especially of migrants or people who move from other parts of the country?
I fully agree with you. I absolutely endorse the point you're making. In Gurgaon, that's been a huge issue. They kind of sold their land, they got the wealth, they initially bought all those Land Rovers and all those big vehicles. They're trying it away. They have now lost the money. Now they have become the cab drivers, right? So it's a very sad thing that has happened. I think we've seized of the issue. I can't really say that we have brilliant solutions to it. Now, as NASSCOM, we are engaging with the government at a very senior level on the whole smart city initiative. Now, one of the things that we are very focused on is around reskilling. Is kind of training and so on. And I think in Gurgaon, Haryana, we have a huge problem. Those of you who manage businesses here, especially ID, BPO businesses, would know that, at least in my company, I have 2,500 people here, that we probably employ less than 10% of our staff from Haryana. Yeah, they're all coming from outside. So I think that reskilling, training, education in kind of in education is a very big step, but I think that's not a short-term step.
Hi, my name is Laina. I used to earlier work at a policy think tank, and I'm with you on a number of these urbanization issues that you brought up. What I'm really curious to know about is what are some of the best practices you've seen corporates adopt? So you've talked about governments, you've talked about citizens, but what are some of the things that corporates have adopted which have led to better sustainable practices? So things like sustainable reporting or any of those ideas which you have, which probably entrepreneurs here and businessmen here can adopt.
So I think there is, I don't know if there is one kind of best practice example that I can call out. That just on the skilling point that that we just raised. I know of number of organizations that are investing in kind of skilling of local communities. Whether that's kind of middle-aged kind of women, kind of seeing how can contribute to them, or different the skilling question is such a big question that it can be, there's so many different segments for that, and I see a lot of companies doing things there. There are a lot of companies which are kind of taking ownership for the local space, so go beyond their office and kind of take responsibility for the perimeter, which is maybe a couple of 100 meters or whatever. So a number of companies who are taking responsible for greening in the vicinity, who are making sure that there is an investment in water harvesting that is happening. And then there are also companies, given the state of law and order, in fact, most large companies in Gurgaon would be investing in some form of security. So we certainly, when we move our own employees, we are also taking responsibility for the security. And the fourth thing I want to mention is that on the whole transportation point, there are a number of companies that are encouraging that, kind of that move away from a cab culture into use the metro, use the rapid metro, and towards that, they are providing financial incentives so that people are able to move on to public transportation. But still, I think a lot needs to be done.
So maybe one last question before lunch.
Can I have a mic, please? There is a very interesting model known as the Rose model of land acquisition,
which was adopted for the Charles de Gaulle Airport and also for the Narita Airport in Tokyo. The land where the airport had to be built was owned by farmers. And what they did there, and what is taught in the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy, is that you make the land, the original landowners, give them a part in the revenue model. Now, we obviously disregarded that, and that's why you find the BJP, NDA landed up in such a mess on the land bill, and so did the Congress before that. Can that be turned around now for whatever further land acquisition has to be done here? Because we've seen that all these people who got their money, that's been eaten up and forgotten. And now they're back on the streets doing all the law and order problems. So it's just a thought which I'm putting across to you.
Thank you, sir. I think that's it makes a lot of sense. I don't think I have the depth of understanding of the entire land acquisition process that I can give an intelligent answer here. The point that I made earlier, that this is a big thing is skilling. A big thing is that investment into that training kind of infrastructure, which we have seen at least in Haryana has been pathetic, has been missing. And then that is that investment needs to happen. I would think that France and Japan, some of these are very, very highly developed countries, that in many of our situations there is likely to be a time lag, and a significant time lag between when the acquisition happens for an economic use and the repurposing that may be needed of the people displaced from a skill development perspective. So I think that's maybe something to reflect on, that that the Charles de Gaulle type of models, how do they may not be directly kind of transferable.
No, we suggested this for the Jowar Airport, which was due to come up during the Mayawati time, and that was shelved after that. And now it's again in the news. And also, when this Bhatta Parasol thing happened in Rahul Gandhi went there. So this is a workable model. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been taught in the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy to all our SDMs and DMs. We have just forgotten it. So we've got to get back to it.
Maybe over lunch you could continue the discussion, sir. And thank you very much for responding to the audience queries. Let's put our hands together.